Hey man, say man, it's your boy Big Dreams. Welcome back to the channel. Before we carry on any further with this video, make sure y'all like, make sure y'all comment. Most importantly, make sure y'all subscribe and hit that post notification bell. Set it to all. We is back with another banging video, back with another reaction video, man. And today, y'all see the screen, we are going to be reacting to Dr. Umar breaks silence on Tyler Perry's allegations and reveals the shocking truth, the art of dialogue. We finna dig in here and see what's going on. I'm not going to make the opening of this video too long. All I ask is that y'all smash that like button so this video can rank higher in the algorithm. Go crazy in the comments. Let me know what you want me to react to. And if you're watching me and you not subscribed, man, subscribe. That's all I ask. We finna go ahead and dig in, man. Make sure that volume all the way up.
Tyler Perry, how you feel about the allegations he being accused of?
We got to deal with Tyler. We got to deal with Tyler. When you talk about the jealousy that the music industry has for black men, it's insane, bro. It's insane. Tyler Perry goes to the BET Awards. He gives a speech, and he's an excellent orator, by the way. I'm an orator. I study oratory. Tyler Perry could have been a pastor or a community activist. He's a very good speaker, very good public speaker. He says that I've made more millionaires than every other studio in this city combined. That's what he said. And don't you know, I don't know if it was the next day, but it was definitely the same week. All of a sudden, he gets hit with a $260 million lawsuit from Derek Dixon, who met Tyler Perry in 2019 as an employee of an event company. So he was working at one of the events that Tyler Perry contracted this event company to come to and host. He met Tyler Perry there. Tyler Perry invited him to audition for an upcoming show called Ruthless. Later on, Tyler Perry tells him, allegedly, according to Derek Dixon's attorney, Tyler Perry told him, I can change your life. Stick with me, I could change your whole life. He then invites him to audition for a role on The Oval, Tyler Perry series The Oval. Derek Dixon stars in 85 episodes of The Oval between 2020 or 2021 until 2024, 2025. In January of 2020, right before COVID, Tyler Perry allegedly texts Derek Dixon and says, among other things, I can't remember the last time I had really good sex. Now, as a heterosexual male, if another man sends me a text telling me he can't remember the last time he had good sex, I already know that ain't somebody I need to be around alone.
For real though. For real though. And I ain't saying, that he did say that, because all this is still, in the process to be proved. But if somebody send you a text message like that, especially when you a man and you a straight man, and you get a text from another man saying that he can't remember the last time he had some good, I'm not even going to look at this point. I'm cutting all ties with you. I'm blocking your number and everything of that nature. Ain't no way on God's green earth I'm finna be okay with that. I can agree with Dr. Umar right there. I'm cutting ties with you after that.
He clearly got the wrong idea about me. In fact, I'm going to have to let him know. In the future, fam, I don't need to know about your sex life. So Tyler Perry texts him this. He can't remember the last time he had great sex. And then he invites Derek Dixon to his house. Derek Dixon goes to Tyler Perry's house in Georgia. He says, allegedly, according to the criminal complaint or the civil suit, he says Tyler Perry gave him some drinks. They were talking. He started to feel a little tipsy. It got late. Tyler Perry tells Derek, It's a little too late for you to drive home tonight. You've been drinking. I have a guest bedroom. Come and stay in my guest bedroom. Derek Dixon goes to the guest bedroom. He's tired. He's been drinking. He's ready to get some sleep. He says he lays down. And at some point, Tyler Perry comes into his room, slips into the bed behind him, and start rubbing the inside of his thigh. Now, Art, he don't leave. He don't punch him. He don't get dressed and call a Uber or get in his car and get up out of there. In fact, he goes back to work like nothing happened. You could have sued him right there. But he says, and this is where I think Tyler Perry has some room to stand and defend himself. Derek repeatedly alleges that he was concerned about his job and his career. Well, if you're concerned about your job and your career, and this black man is sexually harassing you, why not turn him in? Why isn't your manhood or your self-respect, even if you're homosexual, if this man is sexually assaulting you, because you can be sexually assaulted as a homosexual as well, why not turn him in? Why are you saying I put up with it for the sake of the job? To me, you are collaborating and voluntarily participating in this because you could have ended this a long time ago. So anyway, Art, he says that Tyler Perry, throughout this whole relationship of 2020 to 2024, is grabbing his butt cheeks. He says one day Tyler Perry comes into his trailer, grabs him violently by the neck, grabs his butt. Then he says a couple months later, there was another incident. Then the following year, in June of 2021, he says Tyler Perry pulled his underwear down, Art. Help me out. Help me out. If this man allegedly pulled your underwear down.
Yeah, see, a lot of this stuff here from what he's saying, this stuff here that, you know what I'm saying, if you say it, it's going to need proof to follow right behind it. Because those are some heavy allegations, you know, to say that during this period of time, somebody did this. You know what I'm saying? Not judging you by your sexuality. You like whatever you like. But if you come forth with such allegations like this, you have to have some type of receipts. And it can't just be no messages, bro. Like at some point, it's got to be pictures, video, something. Because that's really the only way you gonna prove it for real, for real. You know, messages can only get you so far. You gonna need you some sort of voice recording, some type of video recording, some type of picture that shows physical evidence to further prove the allegations that you're making here. And more than likely, he's not thinking to pull his phone out to voice record or to video record or to take pictures in that moment. So you probably don't even got no evidence like that, which means that a lot of these allegations that you making is just going to be lingering, because how are you going to further prove that? You know what I'm saying?
And grab your ass cheeks. Why are you not going to a lawyer or going to the police? This man is a billionaire. He's a billionaire. Why are you hanging around? He says Tyler Perry coerced him, Art. Coerced him into accepting the sexual exploitation because Tyler Perry promised him his own show. Tyler Perry promised him career advancement. He allegedly, Tyler Perry was going to provide him with career advancement opportunities. So he says he felt like he had to endure this sexual harassment so it wouldn't mess up his options. As far as I'm concerned, that means you volunteered for it. You volunteered for it. You were willing to accept it because you thought you would get something out of it. Then he says, Art, around June of 2024,
and as harshly as that sounds, as harshly as that statement sounds, by the way that is described, that's honestly what you can say. And it be a valid point. Seems like you just cared about your career in that moment and you went along with it. As harshly as that statement sound, that Dr. Umar just said, it's a valid point. Hard statement, but valid point, you know. And I'm not sitting up here saying that none of this stuff did not happen to the gentleman. You know what I'm saying? It may not, it may have happened, may not have happened. I don't know. That's not my place to judge, and it's not my place to judge him or Tyler Perry on what they chose to do. But all I'm saying is, that's a valid point that Dr. Umar just made. Sounds like you cared about your job and your career and the opportunity so much that you just chose to go along with it anyway. You know, harsh statement, valid point.
Comes to his senses, and he decides that Tyler Perry has been lying to me this entire 4.5-year relationship. He's been lying. From 2020 to June of 2021, that's 4.5. He's been lying. So he says once he came to his realization that he'd been lying, he decided to stop showing up for work. He said Tyler Perry told him he had to take an unpaid medical leave. That's when he got with his lawyer, and that's when he decided to sue. Here's where I'm at. Same mistake as Smokey, same mistake as Shannon. Tyler Perry wasn't taking care of him. Allegedly, Art. Because Tyler Perry has not admitted to being bisexual. He has not admitted to any of these crimes. So I'm saying allegedly. If what this man is saying is true, Tyler Perry made the same mistake as Smokey Robinson, Shannon Sharpe, and so many other black men dating non-black people. You didn't take care of him. From what I read, Art, he was being paid $10,000 an episode. And then when he got upset with Tyler Perry, allegedly, he went up to $15,000 an episode or maybe $25,000 an episode. However that go, don't quote me. But initially, he was only getting about 10 grand. Here we go again, Art. Smokey Robinson. If you want these women to be your girl toys, Tyler Perry, allegedly, if you want Derek Dixon to be your boy toy, $10,000 an episode for a billionaire is not going to cut it.
Nah,
I believe, Art,
that's also a valid
claims.
point too. You know, when you partake in activities as such, you know, you're gonna have to empty them pockets. Especially if you know that it's a possibility that later on down the line that you're gonna have to come and deal with this. You're gonna have to come up off them pockets for that person to be okay with you doing what you doing to them. That's valid. Like I said, not trying to judge nobody and what they into. That is on them completely. Never will be my place to judge. But when you looking at it from reality, you gonna have to come up out them pockets a little bit more. You at the surface of your pocket, you gonna have to reach all the way down in there at this point if you want to cover your behind and keep yourself safe. Another valid point.
Had intercourse with Tyler. That's going to be a big thing, Art, because when I was reading the civil complaint, it doesn't appear that Derek Dixon ever admitted to having any type of relation with Tyler Perry. 4.5 years, I wonder if that's true, because if Tyler Perry can prove, allegedly, that him and Derek Dixon engaged in any type of consensual sexual exchange, I think this case can be thrown out.
Right.
I think the argument can be made that you was engaged in consensual relations with Mr. Perry, and because you didn't get what you wanted to out of this Gabrielle Zuniga and Jane Doe 1, Jane Doe 2, Jane Doe 3, and Jane Doe 4 for Smokey Robinson, you decided to try to exploit him in the courts for money because you know he's wealthy. So if Tyler can prove that any of this was consensual, I think this case can get thrown out. Why? Because you was around this man for 4.5 years, Art, almost 5 years, and you never did anything about his sexual advancements.
Right.
Pulling your pants down, grabbing your booty, asking you if you like to be a top or a bottom, asking you about your relations with other men, saying he jealous seeing you around other men. There was too much harassment, allegedly, for you to have not done nothing in nearly 5 years. So if Tyler Perry can prove that they had relations, Art, I think this gets thrown out.
All right,
now,
let me say this real quick. To go back to the whole portion of the video earlier where I spoke about Derek Dixon and the whole having video recordings, anything of that nature, more than likely, Tyler Perry probably already got some of that nature. Not saying he do, and not saying that any of this is true because we don't know if this is true just yet. But if this is the case, more than likely Tyler Perry already got some type of proof that he can show. Not necessarily saying video or any type of pictures or recordings or anything of that nature. But come on, Buddy is a billionaire. And you gotta already know that there's a possibility for something like this to come about. So you got to be smart enough to go ahead and, at least if you're gonna make that advancement and it happened, have some type of proof right then and there that did happen. So when you run into something like this, oh, there go that proof right there. I feel like Tyler Perry a few steps ahead on that. Don't know if he got any type of proof like that of that nature to show, it was consensual if anything did happen. But more than likely, I would believe that Tyler Perry has evidence to show for his innocence before I believe Derek Dixon has evidence to show that Tyler Perry's guilty.
If Tyler Perry can't prove that, here's where I stand on this suit. First of all, $260 million is ridiculous. That's number one.
It is a big amount.
But number two, Art, I believe that Derek Dixon would have become Tyler Perry's lover if Tyler Perry gave him what he wanted. If Tyler Perry would have gave him his own show, I think he becomes his lover. Because according to Derek Dixon, Tyler Perry allegedly told him that he wants a male lover who will keep quiet and not become emotionally attached. He claims Tyler Perry told him, I don't have enough time to get emotionally involved in a relationship. So I'm looking for somebody I can smash and dash, who keep their mouth shut and don't get all emotional with me because I ain't got time for that.
So he trying to hit. So he trying to do a hit and run on him.
Derek Dixon doesn't seem like he really made it clear to him that he was not going to be that. Here's where I think Tyler Perry messed up. Like I said, he didn't take care of him, Art. But in addition to that, Derek Dixon was not going to be no cheap hoe. He was not going to be no cheap hoe. That's like, Art, you dating a woman and a woman says, you ain't getting these panties until you buy me a car. And you keep trying to get the panties. She said, I'm not giving you no panties until you buy me a car. You buy her the car, you get the panties. If you don't buy the car, you don't get the panties. I simply think Derek Dixon was not a cheap hoe, Art. Tyler Perry didn't keep his end of the bargain, so he never let him smash. Period. Tyler Perry thought he was going to get him before he fulfilled his part of the bargain. Derek Dixon wasn't a cheap hoe. He said, you ain't going to play me cheap. You're going to give me my own show, and if you don't, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to keep all the text messages. I'm going to keep all the exchange. Just like the Mexicans with Smokey, just like Gabrielle with Shannon, I'm going to keep all the information, Art. And if I don't get my own show, guess what I'm going to do? Run to the lawyers and sue you for $260 million. These wealthy black men, Art, need to learn. You cannot deal with non-African women the way you deal with African women. Our sisters are burdened by racism. They are burdened by negative stereotypes from slavery that have never been true of them. Our sisters have never been Jezebels. It was the slave master who sought after our women and raped our women. They didn't pursue them. But that's the stereotype that America has carried for 400 years. And every black woman who goes into court seeking justice against a perpetrator has to deal with the fact that people see her as sexually promiscuous. Mexican women ain't got to worry about that. Caucasian women ain't got to worry about that. Chinese women ain't got to worry about that. Arabs ain't got to worry about that. East Indians ain't got to worry about that. So these wealthy black men need to understand you can't deal with non-African lovers the way you deal with queens. And our queen shouldn't be mistreated at all. I'm just drawing a comparison here. Tyler Perry, Smokey Robinson, Shannon Sharp, you're messing up. Get your act together.
Yeah, from the checks I've seen, the dude do seem a little high maintenance.
Yes. Yes. His whole thing is, I'll be your boy toy. But I'm going to get something out of this because you're a billionaire. You ain't going to play
But
with
see, I was just finna say that, bro. I was just finna say that. Tyler Perry got money, and I'm sure if Tyler Perry had came up off a whole lot more money and a whole lot more opportunity than what he did, like he said, they'll probably still be fooling around with each other. If he had came up off some more of that doggone cheese. Tyler Perry wasn't trying to come up off too much cheese. And he wasn't trying to doggone give too much up. You know what I'm saying? So when you factor in things like that, people gonna sit up here and they gonna rack up them receipts on you. They gonna rack up all the evidence on you. Get to a certain point in time where you probably at the height of your career, boom, lawsuit. You know? You gotta know what you're dealing with when you get yourself into that situation. You know, that's pretty much all it is to it. Like, if you gonna play around like that, you gotta be able to pay around like that. If you play around, you gotta be able to pay around. For real.
Then Derek Dixon's, his attorney, claims that this is what Tyler Perry does to get his lovers. He claimed that there's other men who have worked for Tyler Perry Studios who have been fired because they did not consent fully to Tyler Perry's sexual requests and or constant overbearing harassment. So they say, he says, Tyler Perry will put you in shows, write you in, lavish you with all kind of stuff, make you real comfortable, with a very firm understanding that you can lose it all if you don't do what I want you to do. So the lawyer claims there's other men who have a similar story to Derek Dixon. He even mentions Cosby, Carter, Combs, Weinstein, and Spacey in the lawsuit. So the lawyer is trying to draw a parallel from Tyler Perry to Bill Cosby, Sean Combs, R. Kelly, Weinstein, and Spacey. He mentions them in the lawsuit. And he says Tyler Perry is using his status and his power to force young, struggling actors into unwanted sexual relationships. I believe he led Tyler Perry on hoping he would get a show. I believe Tyler Perry was never interested in giving him a show. I think he found out Tyler Perry was playing games, and because he's white and still a racist, and Tyler Perry is still black, although a billionaire, and he decided to show Tyler Perry who's really in charge. And this is why I say, Art, it don't matter how much money you have. It don't matter how much power you have. Whenever you're dealing with a white woman or a white man, they still have more power than you. Tyler Perry's a billionaire. Derek Dixon might have been struggling. But guess what, Art? Derek Dixon has the full power of the American criminal justice system behind him. He got the full power of American civil court behind him. He got the full power of American media behind him. He got the full power of American society behind him. Tyler Perry's billions will be neutralized by Derek Dixon's white privilege. They were playing each other. They were playing each other. He was stringing Tyler Perry along long enough to get his show. Tyler Perry was stringing him along long enough to get some booty, allegedly. And it just so happens that
This man
Tyler
funny.
Perry realized he ain't going to get no booty, right? And then Derek Dixon realized, I'm not.
Oh, man. This man, Dr. Umar, funny when he want to be.
Don't get no show.
He funny when he want to be, Chad.
So Tyler Perry expected him to walk away, Art. He thinking he just gonna walk away. Why would he just walk away when you a billionaire? He gonna embarrass you and he gonna exploit you, because at the end of the day, you ain't nothing but a nick to him, and you supposed to know your place even as a billionaire. When a white person throws a temper tantrum at a black person, you better get ready. That's why it does not benefit us to date outside of our race, Art, because you take too many hits. Look at Smokey. Look at Smokey. Look at Shannon. And now,
I honestly feel like
a-
Dr. Umar ain't gonna let Shannon Sharp get no rest when it come to him and his situation. To Dr. Umar, Shannon Sharp will always be Bunny Hop and Shannon Sharp or Snow Buddy Shannon Sharp. Dr. Umar is not gonna let Shannon Sharp get no type of rest. Neither Smokey Robinson. Anybody who does what he calls quote unquote bunny hopping, he ain't gonna let you get no type of rest. Every interview he go on, if he gotta use you for example, you gonna be used as an example by Dr. Umar. I kid you not.
Coming for his bag. 260 mils. I don't think he gets it, because again, for me, if they're being honest, you volunteered for this, bro. 5 years. You didn't do nothing, no lawsuits, no complaints, no nothing. I'm sorry, he did finally file a complaint against Tyler Perry with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. He did, Art. But I don't think that was until 2024 when he decided to take leave. Tyler Perry said medical leave without pay. It was at the end of the journey, though. It was still too late. I mean, this man texted you and said he can't remember the last time he had good sex, and you're going to go over his house alone and stay the night. He was teasing him on. Both of them were using each other. This was a co-exploitation. Tyler Perry allegedly wanted booty. Derek Dixon allegedly wanted.
Yo. Come on. Oh, yo, bro, this man ain't got no filter, dog. This man ain't got no filter, dog. No filter at all, chat. Not at all.
On show, the only problem, Art, is what? The only person who has something to lose was Tyler Perry. Smokey Robinson. The only person who has something to lose was Smokey Robinson. Shannon Sharp. The only person who has something to lose was Shannon Sharp. Gabrielle Zuniga was her OnlyFans model. Stop dating women outside your race. And if you're going to date women outside your race, make sure, Art, they have as much to lose as you do. Tyler Perry should have found him, if he's into that. I'm not going to say the man is homosexual. If he is bisexual, he should have found somebody who has as much to lose as he does in the entertainment world, and he would have avoided all this. They dating down, Art. They are dating down, thinking they're going to drop these people when they tired of messing with them.
Right.
It ain't going to happen. You worry too much. Because
right.
At the end of the
That's
day,
the biggest piece of the whole thing to take into it. You a billionaire messing with somebody who ain't got nothing compared to you. You sit up here and think you finna doggone smash and dash, hit and run, hit and quit, smash it, pass it, hit home runs, and think you finna run all three bases and get to the home plate and dip. And they not finna try to come after you, bro. You ain't giving them nothing for it. They doggone giving you and you ain't coming up out them pockets. You ain't giving no dollar signs. You ain't giving no green beans. And you thinking nothing gonna happen? Come on now.
every black person
That's
in this country,
honestly
Art,
the
is nothing
repetitive
more
cycle
than an
of
opportunity
every
and a
situation that you hear about that's just like this, if I'm being
I don't
honest.
care where you are. I don't care how much money you have.
He made another
Black
valid
people
point
were
right
brought
there.
here as objects to be exploited, and we are still objects to be exploited. And the minute you forget that you're nothing but an object or an opportunity to Gabrielle Zuniga, for Mexican immigrants, okay, or to Tyler Perry, in the case of Derek Dixon, they're going to remind you who you are, and they're going to remind you who they are.
The texts we see online, them real texts, right? The ones that leaked online from the lawsuit?
No, I believe they real. I believe they real because in the lawsuit, they have some of the text messages listed. Now, here's the interesting thing, though, Art. Smokey Robinson is countersuing. Fat Joe is countersuing. Who else did we talk about a minute ago? Fat Joe is countersuing. Smokey Robinson is countersuing.
And Tyler Perry.
It does. No. It don't look like Tyler Perry is countersuing. He might be, but I didn't see anything.
And the reason why I asked you if the checks is real is because, I mean, if they real, then yeah, Tyler Perry is gay, man. I mean, he made it known in them checks that, you know, he in them in.
They both consented.
But listen, though.
You know.
Listen. No, what I ain't even gonna say that. I passed.
Same-sex relationship.
I ain't gonna say that.
I ain't gonna say that. We all know the childhood he been through. It can breed that type of pathology.
I ain't gonna say that.
But to me, this was a consensual relationship that was mutually beneficial and mutually exploitative. That's how I see. If I'm on the jury, Tyler Perry's relationship with Derek Dixon was mutually exploitative, mutually beneficial. Neither one of them are in the right. Neither one of them are in the wrong if everything stated is true. That's how I'm looking at that. You still got put on. You still got paid. You still got famous. You feel me? You were taken care of, not to the point you wanted to be, but you were still taken care of. I think it was mutually beneficial and mutually exploitative.
But Tyler Perry has to have enough evidence on his end that when they do go to try to twist what really happened or twist certain statements or twist, certain things, you got to have enough evidence on your end to show, like, hey, this happened, but, hey, it was good both ways. It's got to be something like that. If you ain't got no evidence to show that it was good both ways, then you might be coming up off 260 M's. For real. You got to have evidence on your end, Tyler Perry, to show that it was good both ways. And like I said earlier, I will believe that Tyler Perry has evidence to prove his innocence before I believe that Derek Dixon has evidence to show that Tyler Perry is guilty. And I only say that because at this point you have to understand the man been rich for years, bruh. You ain't finna sit up here and be careless on purpose, knowing what you can get yourself into if you being careless, knowing what comes out of being careless. You know what I'm saying?
Now, he never accused Tyler Perry of flat out sexually assaulting him with the R. You feel me? To me, it just looked like a lot of butt cheek grabbing is what I saw. A lot of thigh rubbing. You feel me? Like nowhere did I read he held me down.
He put emphasis on that part, bro.
I don't see that nowhere. I'm seeing a bunch of butt smacking, butt grabbing. He pulled his underwear down. You still stayed on the job. Come on, Art. Come on, man. This is consensual. It's consensual. Same thing with Smokey Robinson and the 4 Mexicans. Come on now. You keep coming back and forth to work for 18 years, 12 years, 6 years, 1 year, letting this man do all this to you, you doing all this to him. Here's my thing. Are Smokey Robinson giving you oral sex, right? Did you refuse it? Because how does an 85-year-old man hold you down, Art, for oral sex? How does an 85-year-old man hold you down for oral sex? You enjoyed it as much as he did, but you didn't get out of it what you wanted to. The mistake of Smokey, the mistake of Tyler, the mistake of Shannon, the mistake of all of them is you're dating down and outside your race. You cannot afford to do that. You got too much to lose. I don't think any of these men sexually assaulted anybody. I don't think Smokey guilty. I don't think Shannon Sharp is guilty. I don't think Tyler Perry is guilty. But I would convict them
when you put it like that
of being dumbass black men.
When you put it like that, I guess it can kind of make sense in a way, only if the events and everything that happened in their situations line up the correct way. Only if it lines up the correct way. If it don't line up the correct way, then what you saying right here, Dr. Umar, is just a lot of jib jab. Because it don't apply to it if it don't line up the way it's supposed to line up. It's got to line up that way in order for it to be that way.
Racist white America. I would
not saying that nobody is guilty of anything. I'm not saying Shannon Sharp did it. I'm not saying Smokey Robinson did it. I'm not saying Tyler Perry did it. I'm just speaking in general when I say that whoever it is, those things have to line up in order for that to apply. It probably is a true statement. If you date down and you're doing all this and you don't cover your behind, that you gonna lose more than anything. That might be true, but everything gotta line up.
And I would sentence them to 500 lashes apiece, except Uncle Smokey. He too old to be taking lashes. But I will convict them for being silly multi-millionaires, and in Tyler
That
Perry's
man
case,
said 500 lashes
you
apiece. That's
you can't carry
wild.
yourself like you working at McDonald's. They out here crashing out, Art, crashing out for non-black vagina and non-black rectum. This is insane. This is insane. Black men have to get our lower chakras. I see you laughing.
Come on,
Black
bro.
men gotta get our
That man said non-black vagina and non-black rectum. What's this man on? Since when he became a comedian, bro? Since when?
Art. We got to get our chakras under control.
Since when, bro?
This is madness.
I would have bust out laughing so hard.
Me off when you said rectum, but yeah, that guy, he's alleging that he was in bed and Tyler Perry, he crawled in bed with him and Tyler Perry started touching on him.
Yeah, he said Tyler Perry rubbed his thigh.
You know what I mean? Like, how does it get to that point? I don't know. I'm confused.
Remember, when I was saying he went over his house, they had some drinks. It got late. Tyler Perry felt he was a little too tipsy to drive home. Tyler Perry invited him to stay. He stayed. He slides into the bed with Derek Dixon, allegedly, starts rubbing his leg. Derek Dixon told him, "I'm not sexual." That's what he kept saying throughout the lawsuit. I'm not sexual. So I don't know if he was trying to claim he was a virgin or if he was trying to claim that he just wasn't ready to have relations with Tyler Perry. He never said he wasn't homosexual, though, so I believe he's definitely that, but he just wasn't ready. Bottom line, he had too much art. He knew what he wanted. Period.
Wait. What was you finna say?
Definitely that, but he just wasn't ready. Bottom line, he had too much art.
He was finna say you had too much dick. That man had to catch himself and rephrase his sentence, boy.
Period. Derek Dixon said, "You a billionaire, you the man, and you ain't clapping these cheeks until I get my own show." Period. And Tyler Perry thought he was going to clap.
The unfilteredness, bro.
He thought he was going to clap, and Derek wouldn't give it up. He wanted his own show. Neither one of them, they used each other. They played each other. It's sad, man, because I don't want to see Tyler Perry disgraced. Tyler Perry is one of the few black men in this century, Art, who could go on my Mount Rushmore for black achievement if he starts producing some very serious, empowering, African-centered movies. Like he did the movie about the sisters in World War II. That was an integrationist kind of thing. It was nice. It was cute. It was good. Shout out to Tyler Perry for that. Kerry Washington, great job, and the other sisters on there. I liked it. But we need a Black Wall Street movie. We need a Marcus Garvey. We need Haitian Revolution. We need Ida B. Wells. Like, if Tyler Perry Art can give me 12 strong black movies, not no integrationist flicks about how we desegregated the army. I'm tired of the integrationist flicks. Give me some strong black power. Give me 12 powerful black dramas. Powerful. He could end up on my Mount Rushmore right next to Bryan Stevenson. Right now, I only have Bryan Stevenson up there, the brother in charge of the Innocence Project, because he helped so many Africans get off of death row who were illegally charged and sentenced to life. Tyler Perry could get up there because media is powerful and controlling the way black people think and feel is powerful. Tyler Perry has that ability in his hands. I just don't want him to throw it away, because if he keep on getting hit with these lawsuits, I'm going to have to cancel him from my list. Not cancel him generally, but cancel him from my Mount Rushmore. But Tyler Perry could hit that Mount Rushmore if he do the right thing. I hate to see this for him. I hate to see this for Smokey. I hate to see this for Snow Bunny Shannon Sharp.
I told y'all. Shannon Sharp will forever be Snow Bunny Shannon Sharp to Dr. Umar, bro. But listen, y'all let me know what y'all think. This is the end of the video. Make sure y'all like, make sure y'all comment. Most importantly, make sure y'all subscribe and hit that post notification bell. Set it to all. All social media links will be in the description. The link to the previous reaction video will be there as well. Follow me on all my social medias. Click the link to the previous reaction video and watch that whole video after you watch this whole video. Don't forget the link to the second channel will also be in the description as well. Click that link, go over there, subscribe, and show love because y'all will be seeing my face over there from time to time. But listen, I love y'all and I appreciate y'all for showing me love back. And we out this thing, man, for real.